Welcome back. Time now to get into the second half of the show, and unfortunately we have something sad to discuss. The hockey great Mr. Rasheed Jr. passed away at the age of 79. He was a fantastic hockey player. We'll discuss that throughout the second half. But before I introduce my guest, our PTV World production team have prepared a special package on Mr. Rasheed Jr.'s career. Let's listen in.
Pakistan hockey great Rasheed Jr. passed away from a heart attack at the age of 79 at a hospital in Islamabad. Rasheed, who was the head coach of the 1994 World Cup winning team, was diagnosed with cancer just recently after suffering from backache and kidney problems. One of the finest centre forwards of the 1970s, Rasheed was considered the best when it came to converting opportunities into goals in the striking circle. As a player, his achievements include a gold medal in the 1968 Olympics, a silver in the 1972 Olympics, and a bronze in the 1976 Olympics. He was the highest goal scorer in the 1968 and 1972 Olympics games. The late hockey player was also a member of the 1971 World Cup winning team, besides being the head coach when Pakistan became world champions, which was the last major hockey title the country has won in Sydney. He was laid to rest in Bannu with his brother, the late Brigadier Hamid Hamidi. Meanwhile, Minister for Inter-Provincial Coordination, Dr. Fahmida Mirza, has condoled the death of hockey legend Rasheed Jr. His services for Pakistan hockey will be remembered forever. May Allah Almighty rest his soul in peace, she said in a message to the bereaved family.
Now, to talk about Rasheed Jr.'s life and career in further detail, I've been joined by Brigadier retired Khalid Sajjad Khokhar, the president of the PHF. Sir, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum ji, how are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. Khokhar Saab, your thoughts on Rasheed Jr.?
I think I don't have words to express. As a matter of fact, he was a great player, as you have already said. And besides being a great player, he was a great human being. And since I was associated with him since 1971, and he had been our team captain also when I was in the national camp. So I have a lot to say about him. But first of all, I express my sad sadness because the way he was associated, the way he was, I think, being contributing towards hockey in whatever shape he was, and whether he was rightly or directly affiliated with hockey in shape of coach or national selector, and he had been the chairman of the selection committee as well. And I think I have not seen a man like him, and not a player, and he had been the highest scorer wherever he went, and scoring talent which he acquired or he had, I don't think any player so far I can see it till today. And he was a very lucky man because he was very clean at heart, and he always, I think, coached or contributed very, very positively, and I never saw negativity about him. So I miss him as a friend because he was a great mentor, as a matter of fact, of mine in my young age, and we remained affiliated with each other. And I feel that it's a great shock to the hockey community as well as me. And I just pray that God bless his soul and give tolerance and relief to his family and to all the hockey community. And I once again say that a great man, a great hockey player, and he'll be remembered in centuries to come. And this is what we can pray, and if we can do any thing, we must remember him in whatever form we can, and we'll try that we have some sort of memorable thing that we contribute to him every year or whenever some opportunity comes where we can do that. So good luck to his family, and once again we can pray for him, and Allah Ta'ala gives him the best in Jannah, and that is what we can do, and we can pray for him from the core of our heart. And everybody who has been with him, I think he remembers him a lot, and they feel that a great thing has gone and God liked him and took him away. Thank you very much.
Brigadier Khokhar, just looking through his illustrious career, I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, we have gold medals, World Cup wins, the coach of a winning team. I mean, it's quite staggering to see what this man achieved. You mentioned, you've already talked about his selflessness, his kindness as a man. As a hockey player, I mean, just looking at what he's done, I mean, it's absolutely tremendous.
against him, all the fullback from the army team, and we were in the finals. That was 1976, if I'm not wrong. And my team captain, Mudassar Askar, came to me personally and he said, "Be very careful." And that was the first time I was ever playing a match against him. And I don't know what quality he had. I was very careful. And generally, the fullbacks at that time and the defenders, they would wait that what action is going to be taken by the forwards. But he was so charismatic, so artistic that I cannot tell you the first score which he scored. I thought I will be able to take that ball, but that is the quality which I have not seen ever in my whole hockey career. And that even today, when I see, I wish that people acquire. And besides that, he was, I said, a very clean person at heart, extremely clean. Whatever he was to show, he would always be on face to face. And 1994, if you remember, this was the first, the World Cup, the last World Cup we have won. I think he was the manager, head coach, and his contribution was basically to unite the team and being a very clean man, being absolutely, I think, no dirt, no favoritism, no nothing. That is a very great contribution. And if you see the entire, it was his clean-heartedness that God repaid him, and he got that honor. Beside getting gold and silver and bronze and contributing towards hockey in his normal career, he as a head coach got us the last World Cup. So it is a lot. There's a lot to say. Lot to say. Books can be written about him, but I say that there can't be a better person. There can't be a better player till today. We should try to follow such a player, and that is what they can get from him, and that is the contribution which he has made in life, and we should remember and we should pray all the time for him and his family.
I mean, this is the thing, right? When you ask people about Rasheed Jr., I mean, there's the central theme is this, that he was a very kind and humble man. And this is a player who's achieved a lot. I mean, he was one of the greats and he played alongside some of the greatest some of the greatest players that Pakistan has produced. So he could have easily thought that he was the cat's whiskers. He earned the right to be arrogant, really. But he chose not to go that way. It was his selflessness that stood out, and that's why he served Pakistan so much after retirement, and that's what people need to look at as an example, especially young players.
I can just say, because I played with him, I played under him. Then we were selectors together, and then he was the chief selector when I was the president. And besides that, my normal regular life, and I have passed certain things, and there's a great memory about him. And I think it is a great lesson, and sort of a symbol and an example for the youngsters to come up to that level. And I think if that level is achieved, you're a good human being and you're a good player and you're a good contributor towards the nation.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you could you've already said some wonderful things about him, but if you could sum this man up in one word, Rasheed Jr., what would it be? One word.
I would say a great human being, number one, and a great gentleman, as a matter of fact, and very straightforward and forthcoming. And the last thing which people hardly know, that he was a great decision maker, and very rightly so. And he guided me to, but I would say one word, that a great man, great hockey player, and he is a person who will always be remembered by a person like me and by the nation. And we must always pray for him. Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you on, sir. Thank you very much for speaking to us, the president of the Pakistan Hockey Federation. And just before I close, I mean, Rasheed Jr.'s career is an example of the kind of talent and greatness that Pakistan hockey once had. Unfortunately, Pakistan hockey has seen a decline in the last 20 years. More than that, in fact, it declined quite heavily. But there's no doubt that Pakistan can get back there. Youngsters just need to look at someone like Rasheed Jr. as an example, because his career is what greatness is all about. That's all we have time for. Keep watching Sports Extra on PTV World. See you next time. Bye-bye.